Yes.
Good morning. This is Yeshiva Samanavshi. I'm Rabbi Shlomo Furst. This is our second shir in the morning in Mishna Berura. We're learning Hilchos Chanukah. Yeshiva Samanavshi is located in the Chanukah Yeshiva's building on Zichron Yaakov in Yerushalayim Yer Kodesh. We're close to the central bus station, so you can walk, bus, or drive. And if you're coming from Kutz Laaretz, flying in, you're welcome to join us. Come on a plane. Very good. And join us for breakfast. We have a delicious breakfast every morning and coffee, all you can drink. So we're here at Hanukkah, first day Hanukkah, Tov Reish Ayin Gimel in Orach Chaim, in Sif Aleph, and we're learning the Ramah right now. Medina's Elu Ein Noagim Anu Ein Onin Lahusif. Let's see, Rachmim, you like to begin reading for us? Do we have the spot? Hago.
Medinot Elu Ein Noagim Nosif. Not accustomed to add another one. Rak Maniach Etzlan as Shamash. We put by it the Shamash. Shibom Adikinot, with which they light the other candles.
Right. This is in contrast to the Mechaber. The Mechaber's sheet was that you have the Ner Mitzvah, or Ner Mitzvah if it's the after the first day, and you have another additional candle which you light, right, which is set off aside a little bit distant from the other Neros. According to the Ramah and the Medinas, and usually that's in general in Europe, they were not accustomed to set up a additional candle. Rather, they would use a shamish that would they lit the other candles with, right? Go ahead, and they would use that as the nair, the extra nair.
But who is he faith? It's preferable. Yesh Lasoto, so make it longer than the other candles. The Mishloto near. You just come to use it, we use that near.
Okay, that's that. Okay, the rest of the Ramah will leave for another time. Okay, and also the Ramah continues and say you're supposed to make the shamish that you're using to light the other neros a bit longer than the other neros. That if you come to use it, you'll use the light of that ner, the ner of what we call the shamish. Okay, so we're going to see the Mishna Berura now. Then we'll get into some discussion. Okay, Sivkat in Yud Zayin in the Mishna Berura.
וטוב שלבד זה יניח נר על השולחן. חוץ מזה, besides this, you should put a candle on the table.
Okay, so according to the Mishna Berura again, we learned this similarly in the Mechaber sheet. He said this as well, right? That in addition to the ner mitzvah which you've lit and the shamish which you use to light the ner mitzvah, and then place it, then you also have to have another. It's toiv. It's not a chiyuv. It's toiv that you should have another ner lit on the shulchan. Or in our times it would be electric light.
I'm sorry. They don't put a shamus. Is that what he's saying? That they don't add a shamus?
We don't add a specific extra candle. Right? I mean, according to the Ramah, right?
You write the Hanukkah candles, the shamus, but not an extra candle, or just the Hanukkah candles, and you have
and the shamus.
Right. That shamus you have to have.
That's the one because that's when you light the other candles with.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So for example, for last night, for example, according to the Mechaber, you would have had one nair for the nair mitzvah, and another nair that was set aside off of that for the shamish.
Right.
And how you lit, the Mechaber didn't go into it. Right? You can use, your matches, your flicker.
Right.
You can use anything you want to light. Okay. According to the Ramah, right? Last night you would have the ner mitzvah. You would have the ner mitzvah, and you would have another candle which you would use to light that.
Okay.
And then that one, right? You would place by the other neros. He didn't mention it has to be a distance away from the other neros like the Mechaber did, but you place that ner that you used to light the ner mitzvah amongst the other neros.
But his shot is that it has to be long. It has to be bigger.
It has to be
So
longer.
there's nicker that it's not the near mitzvah.
He accomplishes that by being nicker. Now,
So in short, the shabbos has to be nicker from the other candles.
yes, it has to be either according to the Mechaber distant from the other candles, according to the Ramah, it has to be longer than the other candles.
How do you do with these menorah, with these, what do you call it? Oil menorahs, all the cups are all the same. So
Right.
you have to go buy a I'm saying, I'm asking, you have to go
Same thing
buy.
with the candle, even candles, you buy a box of candles, all the candles are the same size.
Right. So if it's elevated, if
No,
it's
but candles you can buy a
elevated,
little longer. I mean, candles you can buy ones that you really want.
Tell you
can
the
buy.
truth,
But
the
with the
elevation-
oil, they all have this. Sorry.
No, it's okay. The elevation won't really help you because the Ramah said you should have it a longer nair for the shamish if you want it, because then if you're going to use it, you're going to use the one of the shamish. So what does it mean? You have to understand what does it mean. Why being longer? If it's a longer nair, right? Why is that going to be helping you to use the light?
It burns longer.
Oh, so that's if the other ones goes out. But what when you're using it? I don't want to wait till they all burn out and now start using the light. I want to use it now. I want to use the light right now.
It's the smallest, so
So if it's taller,
it's taller.
if it's taller, so that that is, so to speak, spreading the light farther and greater than the other lights.
Right.
Maybe that's what it means. Yeah. Yes.
Throughout all this, are we looking at just that special half an hour, starting from?
Basically, correct.
So longer, it might be after that half hour is gone, that we've been
Okay.
talking
Well,
about.
we'll see. Hold on. We'll see what the Mishna Berura says. Let's see the Mishna Berura. Yeah, Yud Ches in the Mishna Berura. Yes, Shishamish Shabbat.
שבו, ואפילו רבים המדליקים, כיוון שכל אחד מניח אותו במקום מיוחד, he puts it in a special place, סימן, כמו תזכריה בסימן שיין א', סיף ב' בהגה, וצריך להניח שמש אצל כל אחד ואחד. You need to put the shamash atzal every Chanukah that there is. Afilu yesh ner al shulchan, even if there is a candle on the table. Shamash tamesh atzal nerot. Lastly, they will use it. Tamesh atzal nerot. The nerot shel mitzvah will be used, and that we don't want.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, very good. So the Mishna Berura is adding, right? You take your you use your shamish to light the neiros shel mitzvah. Then you put that down amongst the neiros shel mitzvah. And even if a lot of people are lighting, like let's say according to the minhag of the Ramah, that each person lights his own, right? Or let's say they're in a setting like a yeshiva, and all the bakram are lighting in the dining room or in front of the yeshiva and the chutz or wherever. So we have a lot of menorahs, right? Nevertheless, Kevin should call echad meniyat neiros b'makom yufad. Since, as was mentioned earlier, when you have a lot of people lighting, each one has to pick his own specific spot to light. They shouldn't only lit in one general area that you can't tell who and how many lights are being lit. It should be more or less separate from one another. Even though, so therefore, since everyone's lighting in a different spot, shamish etzel called echad be'echad. Each menorah is going to have a shamish placed down by it. Even if you have one general nair on the shulchan to give light in general for the whole room.
So every menorah really needs a shamus. That's basically what you're saying.
Right. And why? What's the whole reason for this? Maybe you'll come to use, right? You'll come to utilize that place that's by the neiros, which according to this explanation, it seems to be going in the sheet of Rashi that it's a heker, meaning the fact that I have an additional candle lit in the area where I'm going to be making use of that light, it's nicker that the first light I lit was a ner shel mitzvah, because since I have another light which I'm using, or I could use, so obviously the extra light that I lit, or the initial light that I lit, was a ner shel mitzvah. So people shouldn't come to think that I'm doing it, lighting the ner Hanukkah, ner menorah, for my own purposes. I'm lighting the ner Hanukkah for the sake of the mitzvah, presuming nisa, and therefore what tells me, what reveals this to everybody and to myself? The fact that I lit another light, or I have another light there anyway. So I have the fact that I have an additional light is an announcement that what I did initially was a mitzvah. Not that I did something, davar shel chol, I did some mundane act, and I'm simply making use of the light of the Ner Mitzvah for my own purposes.
So the Shamish state service that it's using for being used for mitzvah.
According to this, the Shamish is an announcement, it's a hekir, right? An announcement that what I did initially was a mitzvah. Because why did I light something afterwards? If I wanted to light a light for myself, enough I light one candle for myself. So why did I light another candle after the first initial candle? To prove and to show that what I did initially was a mitzvah. Because I'm not lighting another light for a mitzvah. I'm lighting it to prove, as Rashi explains, Mishna explained this previously, that when I lit initially, the second light that I light proves that what I did initially was a mitzvah.
The law holds the other way. It says the first light is the light I'm going to use,
Okay.
and the second light becomes the light of the mitzvah. It says the shamash is the one you use to light the other lights.
Right.
So clearly, the first light the first light you light is the one for your use.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
But since it's obvious, since I'm holding it,
Yeah.
right, that can't be the mitzvah, then there's a
Right.
mitzvah. And I'm because also we didn't spend time on it. But you can't use the ner. So you can't light from one ner to another of the
Right.
ner Hanukkah. So obviously, if I'm lighting a candle, right, and I'm using that to light other candles, and now I'm putting it down, right? I mean, why don't I put it out? Meaning, if I just wanted to, it would be sufficient to put it out. If I was just lighting the menorah
In
with
fact, I
that.
keep it lit. It says it was lit for the purpose of my use.
Very good. Very good. And it's Eidif Trey. The Ramah said this is the best idea. Why? Yud Tes in the Mishna Berura.
Say, but if it's preferable, the Bezeh Muchach is proven, obviously, Hedya, Yevnei Abayit, to the people in the house, She'enom Minyan and the road. It's not from the number of the mitzvah candles.
Right. Because since I use this shamish to light the other candles, as we just said, that it's obvious to everyone there, the people in the household, that this ner that I'm lighting is not part of the mitzvah neros. It's not part of the neros of the menorah. Whereas according to the mechaber, it's not so clear that shamish, but the mechaber doesn't even call it the shamish, that ner nosif, that additional candle, it's not clear that it's a non-mitzvah candle. So this is better according to the opinion of the Ramah, because there's no question that what you're doing now is lighting a ner that is not a ner mitzvah, and since it's not a ner mitzvah, clearly what you did light originally was a ner mitzvah.
How would you do that? You're using like shemen, right? Shemen zayit, olive oil. And how would you light
Right,
with shamash?
So yeah, again, now
Can you
again,
have a shamash that's
So
that's
again-
a candle, and the rest of them will be
Yeah.
shemen?
Yep. You can do that. You can do that. You
So-
can light an extra one of Shemin first, and it's nicker because it's in a different location. It's higher up. It's off to the side.
But it's not called the shamash.
Sure,
It's a
It
candle
is-
nosaf.
it's called the shamish because
Mechaber calls it a
no, because you light it first. You light it
Yeah.
first, so it's not near nosef.
Huh.
Okay, it's called the shamish because when you use candles, it was the shamish.
Huh.
Okay,
Very good.
so I mean, it's a minute to call it the shamish because
agree.
it's not a shamish because you're not using it. So
That's
it's
right.
not, you're not using it to light from, but you're using it
Yeah,
to
use
use.
it.
Use.
You're lighting it to use.
turn one page back.
So there becomes a shamish because you're using it
Yeah,
to
yeah,
use.
yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
What do you mean you're not using it to light from?
If you
it's
have an
oil,
oil
then
menorah,
It's all oil.
the first light you light, I take a candle and I light the first oil
Ner mitzvah. The
candle.
ner mitzvah.
No, the shamish. I light the shamish in my menorah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Then I say the bracha and light the nerot mitzvah. But the first one I light, it's not the shamish because I'm not using it to light the
You
others.
can't use the oil from
I can't.
the oil.
You can't take an oil can
You're not going to take the oil.
thing
A
and
candle
light
you
the
can-
others. It's just physically
A
impossible
candle,
to
I can
do.
light from here.
A candle, I go from.
But oil, you can't.
If I
take
have a
the light.
menorah with just candles in it, I can light the shamish and then light the other candles. And that first candle I lit, it's still lit. I used it. I put it in the menorah. That's a shamish because I used it. If I have oil, bowls of oil that I'm lighting, okay, when I light I don't use the bowls of oil to light. For the first one I light to light the others because it just doesn't work. I mean, if I tip it sideways to light from
Right.
it, it's going to
Spill
spill
out.
out.
Yeah.
I use a candle to light everything.
Okay.
But I still light one light first that is the shamash,
Right,
and it's lit for me to use the light.
right.
Okay, so that's a shamash because I'm lighting it to use. I'm not lighting it to light the other candles with. I still take a candle to light the other candles with.
Can you use it to light the other candles?
How? Physically, how can you do it?
By using a new match each time.
No. Then I'm using the match to light them.
You're not using the oil.
You
The
mean,
whole concept
you mean
is that
take
you're
the
not using the
shamash,
shamas
no,
oil.
what you're
I
saying,
lit the shamas first with the match and let the match burn out by itself. Then I took a fresh match into the shamas light, lit that match with that light, and I lit the
you
candle.
could do that and burn your fingers at the same time.
We'll
Yes,
have a
you
long
could-
match.
You could do that.
Okay, you can use a candle to
But
use for everything else.
then it's the matches.
What do I do with that candle?
But
You save it for
Matthew
Hanukkah.
I can put it out?
Yeah, that one is not.
I just don't believe in putting out a light like that
Turns out
once
that
you
we
lit
have a
it.
shamash,
Just don't do that.
and we also have
Don't
a
blow it
nish,
out. But
nosaf,
number two,
so
you're
we
reusing
have
it.
together.
Matthew,
That's
so
the end.
For lighting,
if you light the match
with
with
the
the candles,
candles,
the match that's
and
lighting
then we
the
light
match,
them
not
in
the
the
candle
stuff
that's lighting the
afterwards.
light.
Even though I came
Yes.
from the shamash to
Doesn't
light the
matter,
match?
Then we have
because
a-
the match
or we
itself
blow
is
it
doing
out
the lighting. The
afterwards.
candle's not doing the
Well, then we
lighting.
light up.
What I do with the leftover
Yeah.
candle,
Then we have
I
a
put
wax
it
candle.
with my
That's
love.
also
I
not
burn
with
it
Not with them.
for,
We don't do that.
They have a special candle for lighting.
on my wicks. On my wicks, the leftover. I
That's what you
burn
do.
it
That's
in-
what
in-
buys big
You
candles.
use it all to
newspaper.
burn the chametz
I
on
wrap
Pesach.
up my lulav.
Just,
Just
And then when I burn the chametz, I use that as
take a look on the page back,
Okay.
please, this is
I
the
use that.
Ramah, know that the Ramah, one
Thank
page
you.
back, the second line, it says there, Noigin Medina's Elu, you'll have it there, the second line.
Where?
Page
Yeah,
four,
yeah,
on
Noigin
base.
Medina.
Noigin Medina's Elu lahadlik bener shel shava. In our regions, that's the Ramah also again, in the regions in Europe, they were noyeg, they were accustomed to light with wax candles.
Where?
Or solul, it's brilliant light, kamo shemen. It works just as well as shemen. Okay, so the Ramah is thinking, it's easy according to the Ramah if you know the Metzias that the Ramah is talking about.
Right.
But for us, like we were just discussing, that a lot of us are meharid to have shemen zayis, and we have in the oil even the shamish, the ner, which is really a ner mosif. So we're kind of doing everything together. Right? It's all mixed
That's
up
right,
together.
that's right.
Right.
It's very good, very good. It puts it all in perspective.
Mahadrim and a hadrim and a hadrim. I can be more mahadrim.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
So we were talking about now oil, and the Ramah is talking about candles. So with candles, it's very simple, right? You take a candle and you light everything else. But now we're talking the Yosef, which is the lighting with oil.
Oil.
With oil, you can't use a shamash to light everybody else, right? Because we said
because you can't physically do it.
Right.
Okay,
So
I'm with you.
so
All right.
that's why. So now we need an extra candle. So when we're trying to discuss the extra candle, according to one side, it makes sense because it's all oil. So
Okay.
according to this side, no, because you're
It's a
using the
waste.
candle anyway to light the other candles. So it all depends on which position. So what he's saying, we're so mehadrim and hadrim that we already elevated above all these levels.
Amen. Thank you.
And how do you do it? You do it like the mechaber?
Me?
No, Amram.
I'm wrong.
I just it's oil, so I have a candle, an extra candle that I use to light
Yeah, we
everything else.
can't.
And that candle, after I finish, whatever's left over, at the end of Chanukah, I have left over. I wrap it up in my lulav with it, and I burn it with all the wicks and everything when I burn chametz.
Yeah.
Sure, that's
That's
what
right.
we want. We start a bonfire.
Here, there's all so many bonfires.
No,
here.
there are people who.
They should be selling hot dogs, the day I put on your comments here. Somebody's missing a
Great
job.
idea. We'll be out there.
I people are miyuchet to come to me to burn chametz because they know I've got a fire.
Okay.
And there are people all over town who come miyuchet to burn chametz by me. Even though there's other places that people miyuchet that come to me every year.
Amen. So that's everything I put in. I put in my lulav, and then I burn everything together. There's no shiloh, even the leftover oil in the cups.
Right.
I dump it on the newspaper that I wrap the thing. In Morocco, they used to burn the oil.
No, we'll see. That's a mechaber. It's a halacha.
But
It's not Chanukah over here. That's what
Yeah,
the Hasidim do. They
but
burn-
it's burnt. But
We'll get to the halacha.
I have no idea. I didn't figure it out because it's
Just
going
light
to
it
take
up
hours.
and let it.
I have no idea. I mean, you just keep it burning and burning and burning
Right,
and
if
burning.
you burn the oil, well, it takes a long time.
Takes a long
If you
time.
Put it on
So I put it in newspaper, and that's when I wrap my lulav, and then when it comes space up, I just put it in, and it helps the fire to burn the
Oh,
chametz.
it goes very quickly. Yeah, very quickly. Let's see another Mishna Berura. Mishna Berura Chav. Yosa or that Shamish, according to the Ramah, should be longer than the Ner mitzvahs. Right? We have it there. Yeah, back to
Yeah, back
the
to
original
Berura.
page. Top.
The Terach, longer, Sheim Balish Tamesh, what's on the Mars to say, the Kevan de Hu Gedol, he caught us Pushov Mimenu, because on account of it, it's larger, the main usage of it will be from it, Mimenu, from it.
Right, so since it's longer, so if you're using a candle like the Ramah was describing, so it's a longer candle, a taller candle, so you could say, if anyone's going to look, they'll say, well, obviously he's using the main candle, which is the main candle is the longer one, right?
Read the next part of the.
Go again. Yeah, continue.
The Huadin is the same din, Im Mamido Gavoa Ktsat. It's showing them what Shepedami.
So even just physically having it higher is good enough.
That's right.
It does not need to be a longer candle, it just needs to be
That's right.
higher.
That's right. So it's important when you're buying a menorah. Sometimes for yourself, or you have chasanim or something like that, or when you give a present. So you should be a little bit careful about what kind of menorah you buy, because not every menorah is being is manufactured is bitter in terms of the halachas. Because you can spend for a son-in-law you'll spend a few thousand $1 shekels easily, and if it's a chaval to spend that much money, and they're all on the same level, right?
I noticed something they sell this year.
Yeah.
Expanders.
Oh.
So they sell this rubber you put in there, and they have a larger cup that you can put in there, so it becomes that the shamas has much more oil.
Very
Expanders to the regular menorahs.
The menorah's catching up with the halacha.
You can get a good menorah for 1,000 shekels.
Yeah, sure.
You need a good number for 5,000
What is it
shekels.
made of?
Yeah, they make them silver. Yeah. Look, there's no limit to what you
How much was one of the best of English worth?
Yeah.
My wife, story. My wife was at a conference in New Orleans. Must be 15 years ago now. It was one night we were taking a walk through town, and we passed an antique shop. And for whatever reason, in the middle of New Orleans, this antique shop was all Judaic. We saw from the windows there were 4-foot-high silver menorahs. Okay, and we just went into it. I was going to buy one. But just menorahs looked like that
It was
high.
a big Jewish community. Was a big Jewish community at one time.
Yes,
It
it
was a
was.
big Jewish
It was.
community one
At that
time.
time, they really went.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah,
know.
well,
I
During
don't
the
know.
summer, it was a big Jewish
Yeah.
community. So a lot of Sephardic Jews were living there.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, a lot of parties.
And then it became there was a big Ashkenazi, and then the hurricane took care of whatever was.
Yeah, but they're just like
They just
enormous,
left
like
there?
literally enormous
just in New Orleans?
silver menorahs.
Yeah.
Today, I think I don't know if they will move back. A lot of them that I knew.
They
did move
live
back.
in Metairie, which is a suburb of New Orleans. That's
Yeah,
where the
but
community
I don't know if
is.
they moved. A lot of my friends who moved out after the hurricane, they didn't move back. I can't tell you if they did that. But the Chabad was there. Thank God, God bless them.
Okay, so that basically brings us to the, actually, we asked this question, let's see the Berura as well, just enough time to do so. What do they say? This is, there's at the bottom line, the Berura is, or nice if there should be a extra, right, extra or, an additional or, that's which is it,
And the
last.
above that.
Have it there? This is the question, continuing the question with, again, the first reason we have, primary reason is why do you light an extra there, is it should be a heker. To reveal, explain, and show that what you lit originally was a ner mitzvah. Okay, but that is not going to actually allow you to make use of the light, right? If you want to make use of the light, that's the whole question. Let's see this Mishna Berura here. Or, no, it should be to the additional light.
Yele on the nosaf, it should be another light. Hine la data bach, according to the Bach, hu kif shate. According to its explained,
That's the
simply.
pashas. So that's basically the simplicity. That's the basic understanding.
The ach negdo mutar l'shamesh, because you can really use it. Aber neged kulam yachad asur, but with all of them it's asur.
Right. See, the pashtus is you have the or noisif, And if you want to use that light, you can use the or noisef, right? But you have other ner or from illumination from the ner mitzvahs, right? So if they're all there together, right? If they neged kulam yachad aser, to use the light of all of them together, that would be forbidden.
Even if you have the shamas with it.
Even if you have this kevan
Kevan
sheyesh,
sheyesh ner Chanukah utam, because you have Chanukah.
You're there,
So
Chanukah.
whoa. So you put on the table the menorah,
right?
and you're going to put a candle 2 feet, a foot away.
Like the mechaber, right?
Okay, but then you still have the fire is going to be connected into what you're using it.
True.
It's not like it's in another room. You're in the same room with it.
Right.
So if it's dark and that's the only light you have, which for a lot of people was, you're still using, because 2 candles, 3 candles, always a fire is more. So even if you have it a foot away, you're still going to end up using the
Right. So that's why the Mishnah is also neged, meaning in close proximity, where you're always going to have an influence from the light.
right.
That's going to always illuminate greatly or small or little. The room will be illuminated by whatever's lit.
Right.
Right. You have so many the candle lights, whatever you have. So you have so many candle lights within that room.
Right.
Right. Now, to use it to actually remember, we made a distinction between excuse me, sitting in the room or walking in the room. That even if you only had the one ner Chanukah, you
Right.
could still sit in the room.
Right.
You could still walk in the room.
But
right?
I understood that to be people couldn't afford anything else.
No, but we see from that even if you have, and certainly if you have more, you
Right.
certainly can walk in the room.
Right.
You certainly could sit in the room.
Right.
So the what's forbidden is not getting any hana from the light. You can certainly get hana from the light. To use the light is what's forbidden.
Oh, I see.
Right? So if you're going to
Using
count
it,
your
yes,
money,
yes.
right?
Right.
If you're going
Using
to count
it,
your money
yes.
right by the candle,
Right.
Even if you have a shamish next to the candle Ner Hanukkah, you're using the Ner Hanukkah absolutely without any doubt.
Okay.
Nevertheless, if the Ner Nosif is what we call the shamish is further away, so if you count your money there, right? So your main hana
Right.
that you're getting, the main benefit, the main utilization is the Ner Nosif,
Right.
not the Ner Hanukkah.
Right.
So therefore, he's saying if all of them are together, you can't negate. Negate kulam, meaning to use it right in close proximity
Right.
of the whole menorah. Even if you have a ner mosif, that's forbidden because you have the ner chanuk b'tocha. Okay.
The chen muchach da'at Haran. This seems to be the opinion of the Ran.
Muchach is that's evident. It's evident that that's the das of the Ran.
כמו שכתב הפרי חדש כאן, והגר"א בסימן רש"י הודעת רמה בסוף הסימן הסעיף, כיוון שיש נר חול בתוכם, שוב אין ביזו מצווה. Because you have another candle in middle, there is no bizayon to the mitzvah. Vishtamsha, when you do connected kulam, when you use it with all of them.
Okay, so now this is another concept, another concept,
Okay,
right? Once you have a ner, a shamish, a ner chol, right, within them all, right, then there's no bizui mitzvah, right? We're not talking about heker now. We're not talking bizui mitzvah. If you use it, you even connect all of them, right? There's no bizui mitzvah because why? Kevon.
Kevan sheyesh sham ner hanosav, because an extra candle, or a shamash, there's a shamash, v'haya dai lo l'shamash neged ora bilvad, and it will be enough for the shamash to be opposite it. So
No.
by adding
I think he's saying that the light from that candle would be enough for
enough,
you to do
that's right, whatever you
you're
want,
doing.
that's right.
Right.
Now that candle comes to like kind of, I don't have a better word, to nullify the
The
kedusha of things, and it brings it down to a point where you can't use it, but you can do whatever you need with that one. Okay, makes sense.
Good.
No mahani.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, like it says, Kevan sheish sham ner hanoisim. Since you have the ner nosif like the mekaber, or a shamish like the ramah, haya dai loin the shamish neged oro bilvad. It's enough that you would use that ner by itself, right?
V'lo mehane le ner Chanukah. It doesn't look like you're using the ner Chanukah.
Yeah, you're not getting the benefit. Hanukkah, you're not getting the benefit from the
that's right.
Ner Hanukkah.
Ufi dvarav, and according to his words, ma shekatav yiyeh leor hanosaf. Well, he wrote that it should be an extra candle.
That's the mechaber, right?
Hayinu she'or hanosaf halo yoel lo. That the extra candle will not
That will benefit.
will not benefit.
Hello, will it not? Meaning hello.
Will not benefit.
Will not benefit.
Gam ke l'shimusho ulhachisari. To also to use it, and it would be enough.
And v'hachisar, and that's for that. So therefore, it's just permissible.
V'chen hiskim hamagen Avraham agrees. V'apri chadash the hakol to be makomis. Ela shapri chadash siyem de'im ein dai lo leishtam sho ve'haner shelcho. That if
Let's see, he's
That
doing
extra light
something.
doesn't give you enough light.
Right. Whatever you're doing, it needs more light than like one candle of coal.
the yinu davar shu tzarich iyun, something you have to be to gadol. It's
Sorry,
it's
so
got to
you
get
gadol,
gadol. You
you
need
gadol.
more light. V'tzarich lazeh ha'inyan gam kein or shel Chanukah, and therefore you can also use the light of Chanukah.
The requirement.
And this so in other words, the one candle helps you to do regular stuff.
Right.
But if you're starting to do something specific, like I guess learning, which is you need more
No,
candles.
If you need more light than that extra light provides.
Right, that's right. So if like learning, you need more than one candle.
Let's say he wants to take his watch apart and starts.
Right.
You know,
So that's not
work.
that's not enough.
When you know that light from the shamish would not be enough sufficient light for you, then it's not, you can't be makel to use the whole menorah because they have you have in there nosa for a shamish.
Ela da Magen Avram siyem divarav siyem dil divrei ha-milchama, to finish his word divrei ha-milchama, ein lehishtamish neget kulam beinyanenu mitam achad, that we should not use the kain altogether for another reason.
Meaning, if they're all together, don't use it for another reason.
Shelo yormu letzachit, that people should not say that you lit it for yourself.
Right, when you have a ner nosa, if you have a shamish, people, if you're using the ner of the menorah, even if you have a ner nosa for shamish, people are going to still say, what are you using the ner of the Chanukah, so why do you must have done it for your own sake?
But if he's doing it next to the shamish alone, and the achmir k'moshe k'tam, then there's no machmir. Mashein ken sham le'inyan ta'arobot, that there's not like there's things when you have mixtures. Lo sha'aseh or k'moshe k'tam, it doesn't apply to this. Like you wrote there, Hashem machzah shekel ayin sham.
Right. The term is meaning because if you have even tonight you have two neras of mitzvah and one nera of chol, then usually if it's tyruvis, then the majority is going to overpower the minority, and you shouldn't be able to use it.
So to be
that concept
safe,
doesn't apply.
let me ask you. Let's say